Have you ever stopped to think about the wild journey your food takes just to get to your plate? I mean, it goes from a farm to a truck, a warehouse, maybe across an entire ocean in a shipping container. It's a global marathon, really. But the whole time, our food is fighting this invisible, microscopic war. So let's dive in and see what's actually going on behind the scenes.
Get ready for this number, because it's a shocker. That's the percentage of fresh fruits and vegetables that are lost to spoilage before they even get a chance to hit a store shelf. We're talking almost half of all produce just gone.
So, you have to ask, right? Why is this happening? What's causing this huge, invisible leak in our global food supply? Well, the answer is way smaller than you can possibly imagine.
To really get what's going on, we have to zoom in and meet our food's invisible enemy, a threat that just loves the very systems we built to move food around the planet.
So meet the culprits. It's this tiny army of pathogens. You've got your bacteria, mold, fungi, yeast, the whole gang. And they absolutely thrive in those dark, damp, and tough-to-clean spots in our supply chain. You know, like the inside of a shipping container or the corners of a giant cold storage room. They are experts at cross-contaminating shipments, which turns just a few bad apples into a whole spoiled batch. So how in the world do you fight a microscopic army? Well, turns out the answer might just be a nanotech silver bullet. Yeah, using an element we've known about forever, but in a way we've never seen before.
The tech is called atomic colloidal silver, and in simple terms, it's just really, really tiny particles of pure silver floating in water. And what makes this so exciting comes down to three things. It's natural, it's an absolute beast at killing microbes, and it's completely non-toxic. But here's the catch. Not all colloidal silver is the same. The real game changer here is the size. These C114 nanoparticles are just 15 nanometers small. For perspective, other products out there have particles around 750 nanometers. That is 50 times bigger. Being that tiny means these particles can get in way deeper and be far, far more effective against those nasty pathogens.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's get into the science and see exactly how these little particles win the war on spoilage.
Just think of these nanoparticles as microscopic assassins. They have a really simple three-step attack plan. First, they breach the enemy's defenses by grabbing onto its outer wall. Second, they get inside and just start messing things up, disrupting all its critical systems. And finally, they stop it from being able to multiply. Game over. The threat is completely neutralized.
And hey, this isn't just a cool theory. Look at this. On the left, you've got a petri dish that is just swarming with Klebsiella pneumonia. That's a pretty common and tough bacteria. Now look at the right. That's the same dish after it was exposed to the colloidal silver. It's totally clear. The bacteria just didn't stand a chance.
And the lab results are just as mind-blowing as the picture. We're talking 100% suppression of growth for nasty bacteria like E. coli. And it's not just bacteria. The test showed it completely destroyed Candida fungi in only 2 hours. This is a true broad-spectrum defense.
Okay, sure, it works in a lab. But what about the real world? Check out these two groups of cherry tomatoes. The ones on the left were treated with the silver solution. The ones on the right were not. And this picture? This was taken 2 weeks later. I mean, the proof is right there. The difference is just undeniable.
So we've got the science and we've got the real-world proof. So let's see how this all gets put together into a practical solution for the whole global supply chain, like a protective shield for our food. Now, this isn't something you'd buy for your kitchen counter. This is an industrial-grade solution called Cy14 Pharma, and it's designed to sanitize the exact places where spoilage gets its start. Cold storage facilities, refrigerated trucks, shipping containers, you name it. It creates this invisible, germ-killing layer on every surface.
And you know what's really great? How incredibly easy this is to use. It's a simple 3-step deal. First, you dilute the concentrate. Second, you apply it. You can use a special dry fog machine to fill up an entire container, or just a simple sprayer. And third, you just let it dry. That's it. No rinsing, no residue, no harsh chemical smells. All right, let's talk about the money, because this part is a really big deal. Sanitizing a 100-square-meter warehouse with other products could cost you 2,400 rubles or even more. With CM14 Pharma, just 264 rubles. That huge cost difference makes this level of sanitation not just possible, but actually profitable.
So when you put it all together, the powerful science, the real-world results, the sheer practicality, and the economics, you start to see the shape of a very different and much, much fresher future for our food.
I mean, the potential impact here is just enormous. We're talking about being able to cut product losses by up to 40%, extending the shelf life of fruits and veggies by 30 to 50%. That means less reliance on harsh chemical preservatives, huge reductions in money lost to spoilage, and a safer environment for food supply workers and, well, for all of us as consumers.
And it all leads to this one final big question. We've seen how a tiny 15 nanometer particle can have a massive effect. So, could something this small really be the key to fixing one of the biggest problems in our global food supply chain? It's definitely something to think about.